This time on The Adventures of Tarka, we find a cave and explore its rooms isolated by underwater passages. We set sail in a final farewell to Bonaire, and we find ourselves fixing the same old boat in a new place.
It's a big problem.
It's a sailboat. You shouldn't need your engine. We have been in Bonaire now far longer than I had ever planned. And after such a long time, I started to find new creative ways to enjoy my surroundings. I also found time to practice my underwater performance art. As a former scientist and engineer, I think I understand these bubble rings, but it turns out that doesn't make me any better at being able to form them. Anyway, we have to leave Bonaire soon, and, well, we want to leave. It's time to move on. First though, there is one part of this island that we haven't yet explored, and it's underground. Nushta has been to these caves before on a previous trip to Bonaire, but that was years ago, and I was a bit skeptical about her memory. We're gonna die.
No.
So Nushta thinks she knows where the cave is.
I know where the cave is.
But I don't think she knows where the cave is.
I know where the cave is.
Now I've been walking for 2 hours. And we still haven't found the cave. We found the cave. It's right here. Oh wait, no, it's over here. It took 3 hours.
I'm really tired now. I don't have any.
I have the wrong shoes for this. And I'm gonna leave the GoPro outside the cave so that when someone finds it, they can have our last message. Once we found the cave, Tarka helped with our descent down by providing an old halyard for us to use. Though I was mostly joking about dying here, I have to say this is probably one of the more dangerous things that we've done. And certainly more so than any of the sailing. Going in there. This should be exciting. Our hope was to find the passage that led into another room in the cave system, but it took a bit of searching to locate. To me, this was probably the scariest bit, as the only way into the next room was via an underwater passage. Swam in here. Oh shit, I don't remember. The cave is full of fresh water, but there is one region where salt water can be seen mixing in, evident by the cloudiness of the water. So perhaps there is a passage to the sea somewhere. Exploring the cave was surreal. In many ways it was beautiful, but at the same time it was a little bit terrifying. I'm really happy we had more than one dive light with us, as getting stuck down here without a light would be no fun at all. The bright light of the sun blasting its way down through the cave entrance was a welcome sight, and we climbed our way back to the land of day. Before leaving Bonaire, there was one last adventure to be had. Nushta decided it would be a good idea for Tarka to have a pet.
What have you done?
In reality, she found this little bird wandering the dangerous streets of Bonaire and decided it needed to be rescued.
What kind of bird it is?
Choo-choo.
What's that?
No!
You're not supposed to be outside them.
We should put the quills in here. Oh my god.
Now we have a pet bird.
Yeah, maybe we should keep it. I don't want to bring it to the bird center.
And this is how you get diseases.
Can we keep it?
Can we keep it? It's pretty cute.
It's very cute. I need to drink something. Huh?
Yeah.
We decided it was a fledgling mockingbird, which most likely didn't need to be rescued at all, and we should have just moved it to a safe spot nearby. But it was probably too late for that, so we arranged for a local wildlife facility to take it off our hands.
Anders had ik hem sowieso even langs gebracht, maar...
In the meantime though, we had to learn how to feed it.
I also sterilized the container, so I'm trying to make this as clean as possible for the little baby because it doesn't have a strong immune system.
Dinner for tonight? Nice dinner.
Oh, okay.
Our little bird eventually accepted food from us, and the next day was taken away into more capable hands. It's good we didn't keep the little guy, as much as we wanted to, as I don't think customs in Curacao would really appreciate it much if we were smuggling in wildlife.
Oh, he pooped on me again.
Speaking of Curacao, it was now time to go. But knowing that the anchorage in Curacao wouldn't be anywhere near as beautiful as the one here, we made sure to get in one last snorkel session before untying the lines for good.
You can tell I've been here for quite a while by the state of our flag.
And with that, we bid farewell to Bonaire, giving our mooring to our friends on Mila, who we'll meet up with again later in Curacao. We had plenty of time to make the 30-mile passage, so we just kept things simple and unfurled the jib. There's plenty of wind anyway, so it's all we really needed.
So where are we going?
Going to Curacao.
Why?
Why? Because we already have been like half a year in Bonaire and our visa's expired.
Yeah.
That's the main reason.
Oh, looks like it's pretty lively out here. boat's moving around a little bit. Let's take a step outside.
It was an uneventful passage, which is usually what we want when it comes to sailing. I passed the time reading a book, and Yushka kept an eye on the seas to ward off any possible feelings of seasickness. Before we knew it, Curacao was in sight, and we were anchored once again in Spanish water. We decided to delay our check-in by a day, so we raised the Q flag for the time being. Spanish water is Curaçao's primary anchorage. It's completely protected, but also tends to funnel in the trade winds, so it's always blowing quite hard here. We can't plane in our dinghy, so that wind makes for a very bumpy and often extremely wet trip back to the boat. It's also a fairly busy anchorage, and our new neighbors were kind enough to plop themselves atop of our anchor. But thankfully, they came over, apologized, and invited us over for drinks. So in our book, they're very much forgiven for their sin. But it turns out we couldn't move even if we wanted to.
Seems like we have an issue with our transmission. And I think it's just the cable. But right now we can't shift into gear, and that's a problem.
It's a big problem.
It's a sailboat. You shouldn't need your engine. It turns out we do, and I've also been dropping wrenches into our bilge.
And that's not good.
Well, it adds weight to the bilge, so it makes us a better sailboat.
So, any progress?
I don't know.
You don't know.
It seems like the transmission works.
You said there was a good sign.
Well, the thing is, this rusty thing here, that goes back and forth. So I think the issue is with the cable, and not this. So that's a really good sign, actually.
Okay.
Our shift cable for our transmission was damaged. Probably when we sailed here from Bonaire. This is the new one. You can tell because it works. And the old one, it doesn't work. New project should take less than 8 hours. That's me being optimistic. In reality, it should only take half an hour. But nothing ever works like that. Nothing ever works like that. It's the same day as yesterday. And I'm here in my underwear.
Oh, that's nice.
No, it's not nice. Just don't want to get my pants dirty. I just replaced the old transmission linkage. And I have no idea what I'm doing. Like always. But the new one's in here. If you look in here. It's not routed out of the way yet, but we're just going to test it to make sure it works. And we're in neutral, that's good. Try shifting it in gear now.
With one problem fixed, it's no real surprise that another one surfaced.
And it looks like I've lost a bunch of coolant. And I think what happened was when I put the hose clamp on back there, it just isn't on tight enough. And I just spat out a bunch of coolant. And the engine overheated a little bit. It's not a big deal. It is quite annoying though, and I have a mess I need to clean up now, so.
This is one of the tough realities of sailing that I think people sometimes forget. Keeping everything working on Tarka in a harsh marine environment is a full-time, dirty, frustrating, and often expensive job. But for us at least, there's no other way to have this lifestyle. And despite what Spanish water lacks as an anchorage, there are still some interesting places to explore only a short hike away.
You go 10K in that direction.
Yeah. Oh, look, a lake.
Oh, look, a lion.
No, a lake.
Ooh, look at the mountains. So many cool things to see. Oh, this is... That's what she said. Look, it's freezing.
Thank you.
In the salt flats, we saw plenty of flamingos, but they had no desire of letting us get close.
We went the wrong way. We're back on the trail though. Maybe.
Maybe. It's
We're on a trail.
It's real. No,
And oh look, there's the ocean.
Eventually, we found our way to the ocean. And after a long day of hiking, we rewarded ourselves with some ice cream at a resort on the way back to the boat.
Yeah.
We'll be in Curacao for a little while, as we need to haul out here for a major bottom job before we continue on west. That's not such a bad thing though, because it turns out that we're meeting a lot of new friendly people here, and perhaps indulging ourselves a bit too much.
What's happening here?
But that will have to wait until next time.
Dancing